We are live. Anyway, I just wanted to get your opinion. This little bar, it's like the bane of my existence.
Look at all these people.
Yeah, oh, way.
How are you? Great, how are you? Great. Thank you.
All right,
The mystery ones.
we're gonna get cruising. Welcome to Essential AI Tools, you guys. I've been taking a lot of different classes. The end of last year, I sat in a couple classes from KWU instructors where they talked a lot about AI and what AI is and how it can enhance or help us in our real estate businesses. Does anybody not know what AI stands for? Martha just learned.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, artificial intelligence.
didn't know.
You knew that,
Sorry.
which has been something that's actually been around for a pretty long time. It's just starting to become like available, right, to all of our fingertips, which is like the exciting part. So,
And scary.
and
It
the
is
scary part, yeah, can do some pretty freaky stuff. It can, you can send AI chatbot 10 photos of yourself, 10 selfies of yourself, and it will generate a headshot, professional headshot for you. And you look very,
We need to do that
refined.
for fun today.
right? Yeah.
I need to see that.
Yeah, how many people in here have used an AI tool or site? Ivan, Mal, okay, cool, so a lot of you guys have meddled with it. So I'm gonna talk about some of the best practices today, especially when it comes to kind of keeping your info or the content you're creating with AI human-like. So I think it's really easy for us to kind of give up our value and get lazy and just type something in and copy and paste it and be on the way. So there are some best practices around how to talk to AI and how to teach your AI bot about you so that it can write like you. So some pretty cool stuff. And on the horizon, so I'm going to Vegas this month, almost in February, at the end of the month. And there are a ton of AI sessions that I get to attend. They're gonna be releasing some new features in Command with AI. So listening in a couple days ago, some of those things might be like scripting. So as far as like what Command can do right now incorporating AI, we're pretty much just using AI in Command for paid ads for campaigns, which is pretty sweet. It can write your ad text. So it can pull from listings and read your remarks and create a paid ad campaign for Facebook or Instagram for you. So that is up and running. A couple other things that they're hoping it's going to be able to do is, for example, if somebody visits your website and looks at 10 homes or has inquired about 10 properties and then they fall off the map. It's been 265 days since you heard from this person last. AI is going to be able to generate a script for you based on that last activity. So in Command, it's going to say, hey, here's some ideas for scripts when reaching out to this person. They haven't made a peep in a year. Here's some ways to re-engage them. So kind of cool. Other sweet things, including like database, being able to read your database or read your contacts. So something along the lines of like, you put a home anniversary in, a buyer closed 7 years ago, which I think on average people sell by every 5 to 7 years in our area. Getting a notification that says, hey, it's been 7 years, you know, you're ready to rock with this person again. Here's some scripts to start some conversations with them. So pretty cool stuff. There was something else cool I wanted to mention to you guys update wise. Oh, just as far as activity wise, people logging in, people looking at your website and being able to generate some of those scripts around, hey, so you're looking, you know, what's going on. Questions for me before we dive in? Is the good stuff. Okay. Cool. So there's lots of different AI tools, websites, chatbots. I have recommended ChatGPT always to people. And then another great one is Claude.ai. So you can go to either of these websites. You can also do a straight up Google search for AI bots or ChatGPT like systems. So ChatGPT, a lot of agents that I have talked to who are using artificial intelligence at a high level are using ChatGPT for this reason. So one of the cool pieces about ChatGPT is that it doesn't just run off of the information that we are feeding it, we are teaching it. It has web browsing capabilities. So that means if we ask it a question or ask it for content or a paragraph on this, if it doesn't know in its internal system, it's going to go search the World Wide Web for information for you, which is great, but also a little scary because you might run into some things depending on what you're looking for, right? So, for example, like our local market info here in Rochester, right? That's not probably something that's like widespread plastered across the internet in, you know, articles upon articles. We have a couple different great resources as agents to go find that information through GRAR. We can access our InfoSparks. So if you ask ChatGPT for something kind of market or like local market specific, you might want to verify that. If you're asking ChatGPT for, hey, when was the last time the interest rates fell below 4%? That's a pretty big topic, right? That's probably been published in articles and everywhere where it's going to be able to go look and find on the internet. Oh, we're able to tell you that answer because it's such a wide range of topics or articles that have been published out there on interest rates. It's not super specific. So keep that in mind when we get into how to talk to your chat bot here, how to ask it for things. So ChatGPT is more creative, I would say, than Claude. If, for example, you ask ChatGPT to write you a description for a 3-bedroom house, it is going to create a description for a property that doesn't exist, right? If you ask Claude to do that, it is going to ask you for more information. So ChatGPT is definitely going to be more creative and it's just going to pull anything for you, right? And then you can tweak it and tell it more. Claude is going to prompt you to give it more information before it really gives you anything, if that makes sense. So,
ChatGPT is OpenAI, right? They're the same thing.
Thank you, yes.
It's coming up all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go to chatgpt.com, it's gonna say OpenAI. You can download the OpenAI app on your phone. That's the same thing as ChatGPT. And I'll show you guys in a little bit how to use it. Really easy to use. There is a free version of ChatGPT and a paid version of ChatGPT. I have used the free version for a long time. I just downloaded the paid version because everybody's like, dude, you have got to check it out. It does some wild stuff. So I would start with the free version as you guys kind of play around with it. The paid version can do things like the headshots. It can create graphics and images for you. The free version does not do that. It just gives you written content. Hey, RC Benjamin.
Hi, how are
Good.
you? Just looking. Were you saying the ChatGPT one is the better of the two?
Yeah, I like ChatGPT best. If you're going like more just straightforward, matter of fact, less creativity. Claude is great, but it doesn't have the web browsing capability. So it's whatever Claude has learned, that's its data bank, right? That's what it's got to give you. Not necessarily a bad thing, just a little bit of a different output. So I would suggest trying them both out. Okay, anybody have questions on getting to either of these? You guys are more than welcome to go on your laptop and sign into one of these as I kind of go along and talk a little bit about how to get started. So the first step is going to be picking your AI tool. So exactly what we just talked about. and then generating your prompt. So what does that mean? What does generating a prompt mean? So a prompt is what you are telling ChatGPT to do for you. So what are you asking AI to do? And there's a few different components to that that are going to help with that outcome, right? So to use ChatGPT or AI at a high level to get what you're looking for, you do have to give it some specific information to start with, right? We kind of have to teach it about ourselves and what we want to be able to continue to utilize it in a way that is the quick and easy route. So as you start to use it, you might be telling it more and more to help it get to know you. Once it gets to know you, you don't have to add as much every time, right? So when it comes to generating your prompt, the first important piece of this is identifying your target audience. So who are we writing this for? Is it a script? Is it a real estate newsletter? Is it a script for a video that we're gonna put on Facebook? So you're gonna tell ChatGPT, and I'll give you guys an example on the next page. What or who am I speaking to? So that could be old leads. So, leads that have been sitting in my database, and you can tell it this for 2 years with no activity. Or a seller who is in this price range. Give me a script to talk to a seller who's looking to list in this price range. You can get pretty creative with that too. And I'll talk about that more if you guys are going on a listing appointment and a seller wants to list at 300,000 and you're like, no way, like, ugh, I gotta tell them they've got to come down. You can give AI information about your seller. This person is, serious and kind of short, tell them about this human, and they're going to help you generate a script or a response to help you on those appointments. So number 1, identify your target audience. Number 2, setting the tone and style. So this might be something that takes a little while for you guys to kind of work out. So when it comes to tone and style, I think we all have a different kind of tone and style. I'm pretty energetic. I talk really fast. I tend to elaborate quite a bit. So you guys all have your own tone and style as well. So this is going to help you separate yourself from everybody else using AI when you can establish that tone and style. So you could tell AI, write me a real estate newsletter that is in a happy tone or a friendly, upbeat, energetic tone, or a professional, script, or a poetic script. So you can get pretty specific with how you want these messages to read. And I think one part of this too is taking a look back if you guys have written or done videos or put out content just from your own head in the past, right? And sticking that into ChatGPT and saying, write something that sounds like me, that sounds like this, so that it can get an idea of what that style is for you, because we're all a little bit different. And that'll help to not take away from your true value, right? We don't want to be recognized as a chatbot. We still want to be ourselves. So AI isn't meant to replace anybody. It's meant to help enhance and make you more efficient. That's a good word. But not to replace you. So we don't want AI to dehumanize us, right? Number 3, use proper formatting. So you can also tell AI things like this. And I used to do this when I used ChatGPT to help the Norcelli team with their newsletters. Month after month, you were like, man, what can I tell my awesome clients? What am I missing? What can I bring that is of value? So you can tell ChatGPT to write a 3-sentence paragraph, 8 pages, 1 sentence, 12 sentences, 4 paragraphs, with each paragraph being on a different topic that is, how to prepare your house for winter. So that will be frustrating at first as you guys are starting to use this, because you're going to be like, oh, I don't want that much. And you can tell it. You can literally, you're talking to this chatbot like you are in the same room with them and saying, hey, thanks, but can you condense this down to one paragraph? I don't need 3 paragraphs, and it's gonna pull and kind of summarize it back into 1 paragraph. So the proper formatting is super important. And then your desired outcome and goal. So what is the result of this? What's your ultimate goal? Is it to get a response from leads? Is it to get opens and clicks and views on a newsletter or a Facebook video? So you're also gonna tell it your desired outcome. Get more real estate business isn't super specific. So you do,
Successful.
right? You do have to get a little granular with this in the beginning. And I think it makes us take a good look at the activities we're doing and how we're communicating with our database or with the outside world and figuring out, all right, who really am I trying to target? And then you can use ChatGPT all day long. If you can get pretty specific around your goals and who you're trying to target, this is going to work a lot better for you. All right, last thing on here says review and improve. So this is when the human aspect comes back into it a little bit. Do not copy and paste what ChatGPT gives you without reviewing it and maybe improving it. Maybe it's just fine. But don't take it and slap it on Facebook because people will 100% be able to tell that ChatGPT created that for you, right? Like go in there, do a little tweaking, look at the sentence structure. Maybe you're gonna replace a word that you're like, I don't even know what that word means. Like I would not use that word. So make sure you guys are reviewing these. That way you're using it to enhance and to help you, but it's going to set you apart from the people who are just copying and pasting what ChatGPT is giving them. Change a few words, you know, pick and choose bits. You don't have to use the whole, you know, whatever it provides you. You can, I do that all the time in my emails and my like newsletters I send out to you guys. I'm like, I used to read the thesaurus for fun as a child though, if that gives you guys any indication. That is the kind of human being that I am. I mean, yeah, I also listen to like only the 70s. So I was born, I'm weird. I'm a mixed bag, but I will get down to some party music too. Okay. So we're gonna look at 2 different prompts. We're gonna look at a bad prompt and we're gonna look at a good prompt. So next up, we've got what not to do. Bad prompt. Don't tell ChatGPT, Jay, this is great for you. This is perfect. If you want to use this for your newsletter, create a newsletter for my real estate clients. That is given us
I just did it and it gave me like 15 paragraphs.
ton of
so I'm
stuff,
good,
right?
so.
Which you could use, right? To start you out with. It'll give you a really
Yeah.
good jumping off point. It'll give you a nice structure, but you could keep going back and forth and have a
Just
conversation
look
about
at my
that.
computer screen. I
Yeah.
was like-
Yep. So we don't want to be too generic. This looks like a lot. I'm gonna read it to you guys and you guys can just listen. So this is an example of how to really get what you are looking for out of ChatGPT. So crafting effective newsletters for real estate clients in Rochester, New York as a copywriter with an in-depth understanding of consumer behavior psychology. You must create an engaging newsletter and subject line that entices your clients to open, read, and click, that's very important, on the home value link provided. You can stick a link in there. It's gonna be able to read it. This newsletter is specifically designed for your past and current clients who buy, sell, or invest in real estate with you in Rochester, New York. To ensure engagement, include a local story or highlight a new restaurant or shop in the area, a real estate market stat using the following information. So you're gonna need to give it that local market stat. The newsletter should be 6 paragraphs long, written in an upbeat and friendly tone, and should leave your clients excited about your services. Then you can tell it, please let me know if you require more information, and ChatGPT will start asking you questions.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool. This seems like a ton of information to give it. This is going to help you get the most out of it. Like I mentioned, being pretty granular up front with ChatGPT is going to help you really target who you're looking to target. And it's gonna help us ask those questions to ourselves that we're like, oh, I didn't really think about that when designing a newsletter. So hopefully it's allowing us to just be even better and more valuable with content that we're putting out there. If you don't know your target audience and you're like, yeah, I don't know, you can ask AI questions. So you could say, help me define my target audience, and it's gonna give you some thoughts on that. Or help me pick a tone and style, what tone and style might be best for this target audience, right? If we're sending something out like to people with estates that need to be listed, right? We're probably not gonna be like super pumped up. When my husband's dad passed away, we got like 7,000 things in the mail about like, here, we're ready to list your estate. It was creepy and bizarre, and some of them were super excited about it. We were not, we were really sad. It was like, what the hell? These people need to figure out their marketing, right? So think about your tone. You can, oh, hold on, guys. I'm sending this out afterwards, so I need to write notes on it for you, because I want to add this. Yeah, so chat back and forth with ChatGPT, and it will help you figure out where you want to go with it. We talked about this a second ago, but talking to your AI tools if it's in the room with you, so you don't have to tell it please and thank you, but the more respect you can give this, and the more you talk to it like a human, the more it's gonna give you human responses. So we're kind of teaching it as well, right? And you can ask it to provide you feedback. So here's a video script that I created for Facebook. You can ask AI, you know, please provide me some feedback as a consumer and why people might not watch this video. And it will tell you, you know, you should shorten it, or maybe you should leave this part out. Pretty cool. Based on, you know, the responses, it might ask you to rewrite or reconstruct a piece of that video script, a piece of the script for an appointment. And it kind of helps you to get into the mind of the consumer. So coming from that mindset, which I think can be really hard to do sometimes, but super effective if we're doing it the right way, right? And we had talked a little bit about like, yeah, putting your target audience as a seller or somebody you're going on an appointment with, and telling it a little bit about that person so that you feel like you can show up more equipped for that conversation and kind of practice those scripts a little bit. Anybody have questions so far? Talked a bit about reviewing and improving on your own. If you guys want to utilize this, what I would say too is, if you're not getting what you're looking for or what you're hoping for, you guys can send me your prompts. I might be able to help you just figure out like what you might be lacking. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty freaking easy. You can save separate chats for different topics and you can name them in ChatGPT. So I can show you guys that in a minute. So if you know that you're using ChatGPT on a monthly basis for social media content, you can save a conversation with your little bot that's called social media social media content. And you're going back into that conversation each month and kind of picking up where it already knows your tone and style of what you're looking to do. I can pull that up quick and show you guys. All right. So I'm gonna hop into ChatGPT. You can use the free version to get started with. I just signed up for the paid version recently.
How much is the paid version?
$20 a month. Yep. And I'm curious to see when I go to family reunion, if they offer any type of integration with Command, where we might get a little break on like a monthly cost to utilize some of the AI features. Okay. Tech tips, strong passwords. That's funny. I don't even know how that got in there. So right now you guys are looking at ChatGPT. I'm in 3.5, so this is the free version. I've also got version 4, which is the paid version. So it's giving you some prompts in here too, if you're kind of wondering how to use this, make up a story, brainstorm content ideas for my new podcast on urban design. So you can do a lot here. Then you can see on the left-hand side, these are all different chats that I have started with ChatGPT. Real estate newsletter ideas. So this is a pretty generic one. let's see, let me get to the top. All I told it to do was give me real estate newsletter ideas. Create engaging and informative real estate newsletters can help you stay connected with your audience and position yourself as a knowledgeable and trustworthy professional. Here are some newsletter ideas for real estate. So you do not have to throw in that full paragraph that I gave you guys. You can simply tell it to do very simple things. And maybe it will spark your brain to then ask another question, right? Ooh, I really like this topic. Let me ask it to write in a tone that is this way, or can you make this seasonal home maintenance more of a target for this group of people? So it might help just to jog the memory to figure out where you really want to focus in. So I said, tell me more about first-time home buyer tips. It's gonna expand. Here's some more first-time home buyer tips. So this could be a really great way, like JP, you're a set it and forget it guy, to be able to build out content for a pretty long while, maybe a year. Martha, are you sleeping in my class? Think about what you could do with this in just terms of saving yourself time in the future, so that every month you're not like, oh, really, I know I gotta get stuff out there. I know I gotta get in front of my clients. We've got some great seasons around here, right? We've got great events in Rochester. You can do something as simple as highlighting a local event every month or every quarter, something of that nature, and use this to kind of help you switch it up a little bit, or asking it less for content and more for, all right, I send a real estate newsletter. What are some other ways I can reach my clients? See what it tells you. And every time you want to create a new chat, so I could go right back in here into Valentine's Day emojis. It's my favorite thing ever. I hate searching for emojis on Facebook because they don't have the search bar. So I have to scroll for forever just to find the emoji that I want. So I tell ChatGPT to give me emojis that have to do with Valentine's Day, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Emojis are super important for Facebook ads, so they get the most engagement. So in our paid ads in Command in the campaign section, they have a lovely search AI bar, where you can search for emojis related to homes, houses, Valentine's Day, whatever. Love that. So you can pick up where you left off here. I could start talking about something that has nothing to do with Valentine's Day if I wanted to. Or I can also just create a new chat and say, you know what? Let's take my text from my presentation. We'll drop it in there and see what we get. Let's take our good prompt. I already tried our bad prompt, as you guys can see. Has anybody actually used ChatGPT like for something, not just to like mess around and see what it gives you? Has anybody taken, yeah? What have you used it for?
Created newsletters, you can tell it to script something out. So if you wanted it to be, I want to have a dialogue with somebody. And then you can say, I want a two-way conversation that's 50. I mean, what's great about it is you can be as particular as you want.
Yep.
I want it to come from a real estate professional that's expert in Rochester, New York. Only I want this paragraph, I want this to be 100 words, and I want it to be a script between a buyer and a seller, a script between agent and seller, or agent and whoever.
Yeah.
And it'll give it out, and then you can take that, make a video of it, and you could, give me 5 bullet points on the top 5 things to do in Rochester, New York. It's, for me, it's more, my mind doesn't think
That granular.
right, like
Yeah.
I'm a person, tell me what to do.
Yes. Yeah.
And with chat, and you can also, what I've learned is you can kind of tell it, hey, I love, give me the top 10 things that are, people look for in a real estate profession. And then you like number 5 that everyone wants to, a friend or someone to talk to. You
Love
can
it.
tell them, great, tell me more about number 5, or give me 5 more examples regarding what you just said to me
Yeah.
about point 5. And it'll tell you 5 more details, so that kind of
back and forth conversation, like you're in the room with them.
Yeah.
So JP just touched on like everything we talked about this morning. He came in at the perfect time to recap all of that.
Recap.
That was a
Bring
good
that second
prompt.
lead.
Yeah, you're good. Thanks for
Good.
stopping in.
That would work.
Yeah, so you're having a two-way conversation. You're getting really specific with what you're asking for and what you're asking, your, chatbot to expand on for you. John's using good prompts. He's talking to his AI tool, like they're in the same room with him. They're having a convo. Pretty stinking cool stuff. So what I'm gonna do is throw a good prompt in there right now and see what it gets us. Once my little share bar goes away, because I can't get to anything with it up here. No. Does anybody else go through this? Anybody else share? In the same capacity as me? All right, here we go.
Yeah, that Zoom toolbar.
Worst. Certainly, it tells me. Nice, so nice to us. Oh, okay, so right here, since I don't have any specific details about a local story, restaurant, or shop or exact market stat, I'll create hypothetical examples for these. So that's an example right there where we need to review and improve, because don't slap that shit on Facebook, putting some hypothetical crap in there. Go through, do your own research. What do you really enjoy? What do families enjoy? Maybe this is geared towards your families, people with kids in your database, whatever the case may be. Love it. It's gonna give you your little insert here sections. This would be great in command. You can use something called a merge field. So if you're dropping this into a command newsletter, you can insert a merge field that's gonna read your contact's name for you. So it's actually gonna address them. Dear Abby. Now, it is chunked up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's great. You might not lay it out like this. So you guys can monkey around a little bit here and let's tell it. Yeah, so I love that it's like labeling, like what each piece is doing for you, right? So invitation to check your home value. You're probably not gonna label that in your newsletter, invitation to check home value, right? But it's helping you to organize that content in your brain. So I could maybe tell it, change the style, or maybe change my newsletter target audience to be more family oriented. Did I get it? Does anybody else like panic when they're on the spot with their spelling and they forget how to spell? Absolutely. This thing's just like me. It's so excited all the time. I love it. Family fun and smart real estate choices in Rochester. Find out more. So now it's giving us family friendly focused introduction, family friendly local highlight, like. Poof. Just like that. Pretty freaking crazy. Is anybody seeing this for the first time? Has anybody never seen this before?
This is really, I mean, very intense.
Yeah.
I've played with it at a shallow level.
Yeah.
This is really impressive.
It's pretty crazy, right?
Well, and I've seen on TikTok, Facebook, whatever, oh, I'll help you with your prompts, and I was like, what are you talking about? So this is, you're nailing it.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's a couple other things I want to show you guys outside of ChatGPT. I think this is something I could stand up here all day and tell it to do different stuff, but I'll let you guys do that on your own play around time. Go ahead, Ivan.
My question is, what is the big difference between the free and the paid versions in your experience?
So the paid version, John, do you have the paid version? So I know for a fact, my free version will not give me graphics or anything of that nature. I can't ask it to create a headshot for me. I can't say, give me a graphic for my upcoming tools and tech class. I don't know what other things you've experienced with it, John. I know that this is just text. The
With
free.
4.0, you can basically teach it to be you. With 3.5, it's basically you're meeting a robot for the first time. Every conversation is this. When it's 4.0, you can give it a bio basically. And
Okay,
now you can omit it's going to start talking like you, or like if you've written articles or blogs, you can kind of upload those and it'll take what you say, so it sounds more like you. So when the output comes out, it's more Ivan-esque than it is John or a blanket.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Robotic.
So it's gonna kind of save that style for you, and that's what, yeah, I had mentioned earlier, taking something you've written and sticking it in there. What you could do, I'm sure 3.5 would let you. You can manipulate time and time again to get it to sound more like you, but it sounds like 4.0 is going to like save you, it's gonna save you, right?
Yeah,
It's
so
gonna
on the
create.
left where you said, where it says explore GPTs.
Yep,
In the black column, nope, left.
oh, yep,
You can put in there, it'll become you. So you can have Ivan 2.0.
oh, you can like name it.
Yeah.
Your own.
Yeah.
So you could do like one for any, but like you could have.
I don't know how many you can have, but I think you can, it can. you
Yeah.
can manipulate it to change it to, again, be more like you, or how you want it to sound.
You can also, I was watching one of my favorite instructor dudes named Travis, who loves AI. I don't know what state he's in. But he was talking about using it when him and his wife got into a little tiff, right? And he asked it, here's like our hot buttons, here's, whatever. Give me some mutual, ways to solve this situation. And he went back as like a test and scripted this on his wife a little, and his wife was like, that's, where are you getting this? Like, who are you? And he was like, that was AI. And he was like, did it work? Like, did that, solve? And she was like, well, yeah, it did work. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. So kind of fun to mess around with it and see what it does.
Did you do a headshot on there?
I haven't yet. No, I haven't yet. I want to. I saw Tiffany's the other day. Tiffany Hilbert did one. I was like, oh my Lord. Which I'm a natural human. Bye, Jay.
Sorry.
So I think I would do it for fun, but I don't know if I would ever use it for business, just because I'm like, I am not trying to catfish my clients, girl. Like, it does look like you, but we have age in
polished
this
up.
space. Yeah, very airbrushed, but it's freaking cool. I would probably use it for like my little Gmail, like photo and stuff like that, but yeah, it's kind of fun. Maybe you can tell it to look less polished. Maybe it'll go in reverse and be like, give me like, this bit up here. Yeah.
You can also. What I'm trying to get more into is if you find if you're on TikTok or Facebook or whatever, Instagram, whatever it is, and you find something that like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Or like you see a YouTube video. I didn't know this and I just found it out, but you can go to a Google Doc and it will transcribe, or you can record and it'll transcribe into, so if you're on Instagram and you see this cool, like this lady talking about whatever, and you're like, I love that.
Yep,
I just want to change it so it sounds more like me.
yep,
You pull up two screens, you play that video, transcribes to a Google Doc, and you cut that out, put it in GPT as a real estate professional. And it'll kick it out that way, and then you just run the video back over again. It's the same video, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's, instead of the lady talking, it's now me talking, but it's what she's saying, and it's more sounds like me. So it gets
That's
the,
cool.
what am I gonna say? How am I gonna say it? What am I gonna do? How long is the video? Like, it literally, you're just
I didn't think about doing it
ripping off
that
and
way.
repeating with, yeah, but like
I
that's,
used the transcribe,
This
but
must be
never
what
do
all the
that.
spam people use, right?
Yeah,
To make us believe it.
yeah, yep. And that's, and that's the scary part too, is it's not right. It's not always used for good. I use that transcribe, so it's funny that you mentioned that, because if you look at my presentation, I literally played a video, had my document transcribed, and then I threw it all into my Canva PDF or presentation, and it looks identical to the class that I learned all of this content from, right? Like, you can, what do we say? R&D, rip off,
R&R.
R&R. rip off and repeat, thanks. Like a champ with some of this stuff.
R&D. Rip off and develop is the,
Rip off and duplicate?
yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, I'm not.
I know we would have eventually got there.
But yeah, I mean, think of the time though that you can save yourself, just enhancing things that maybe you already do. And that's one of my favorite, like, tidbits about technology is like, technology is only gonna help you with the things that you're already doing, right? It's not going to do things for you. It is going to help you do the things you're doing better. So I love that. And we don't want technology to replace us or to replace us fully, because then we lose our value as real estate agents. And that's never gonna happen. But that's not, the purpose of talking or teaching these things. I like to think of it more as like, man, I saved 2 hours this week. What am I doing with those extra 2 hours? Hanging out with my kids, hanging out with my hubby, going on a walk, whatever you want. Okay, I want to show you guys one more quick thing. It is 11:15, so we're doing good. Did everybody get a chance to sign in? That just popped into my head. Where'd my sign in sheet stop? Shannon, okay, cool. Let me grab it or else I'll leave the room without it.
You want me to sign in, even though I showed up 10 minutes ago?
Yes.
Because then I can send you materials after.
Not everybody just gets all the goodness from my class. You gotta show up.
Only show up to 10 minutes away.
Yeah, well, at least me. Did you interpret today?
I'm still interpreting today.
Thank you.
Quickly, correctly.
All right, so I've talked about playbooks in the past. Keller Williams creates these wonderful playbooks for you guys that everybody has access to, that are just chock full of processes and best practices and how to do this, that, and the other thing. So recently I had talked about the database or the contacts playbook, which helps you, and I might have sent it to you, Victoria, which helps you start. If you are starting over with your database, best practices around tagging, how to use command at a high level. So I'll pull one up so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm not making any sense right now. But there's one for AI. That's why I'm talking about playbooks right now. There is one for, sure, we'll go on as Molly. Well, why not? We all have the same content in here. So inside of command, there's a tab called Connect. So everybody's gonna see this Connect tab. Connect is our learning hub. Lots and lots of resources in here, from command training videos to on-demand training. Yep, come check these classes out. So they're offered all the time. On the right-hand side, if you scroll down a little bit, you've got these quick links, and one of the quick links is playbooks. Okay, so you can see in here, we've got all sorts of different, look, newsletters playbook, version 4. Open house playbooks, designed to provide you with a model on how to run the most efficient, I would guess that word is, open houses.
Interesting.
The one that I am looking for is AI for real estate agents.
Sorry, Abby, how did you get there?
Yeah, so this Connect tab,
Yeah.
magic, yeah.
Yeah.
And when you get into Connect, you scroll down a bit and it's on the right-hand side under quick links, you can find playbooks.
Oh, I see it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Really just needed to get close to me and it showed up.
Needed their power. This is really big, so I'm gonna download it. Oh, I guess I already have it downloaded. Let me shrink my screen out a little bit.
Okay.
So a lot of what's in here, we covered today, but there's a couple other things I want to point out to you guys that you might like.
So much to learn.
I know, it's pretty exciting, isn't it? I'd be so bored without learning. Love learning. Okay. Welcome to the AI for Real Estate Agent Playbook. So I think this is awesome. It's a great outline of everything we talked about today. I'll send it out to everybody so that if you forget how to get back to it, you have it. But it talks about drafting content and creating those conversations. Some of the other things that I wanted to mention in here, and John talked a little bit about. So we've got picking your AI tool, creating your prompt, review and improve. Hold please. We covered a lot of this. More prompt, better prompt, review and improve. Where's my video? Here we go. So drafting content. This is actually really cool. So these are examples of prompts for creating different types of content. So they've got one in here for newsletter, blog post, or social media post, listing description, and also video scripts. So I think that this is an area that everybody I always talk to is like, I want to do more videos. Like, I really want to get my face out there, but I don't know what to do or what to say. this would be a good place to start as far as how to use AI for those video scripts. And John had just mentioned how he has used ChatGPT to create his own. Objection handling is in here, I believe. Yep, so we've got conversation, frameworks. This objection handling section. I'm a real estate agent in Rochester, New York, and want help overcoming common seller objections. So helping you practice those conversations, giving it a tone and style, using the proper formatting, asking it to have a two-way conversation with you. It will do it. And then, so there's some other really cool stuff in here too, you guys can take a look at. So like setting up Google review responses, you can use something called Zapier to connect to your Google reviews. So if somebody leaves you a review, an automatic response goes out that you've generated. So that's kind of a cool thing. And maybe I'll do, once I get back from family reunion, I can't wait for all the things that I learned. Maybe I'll do a AI like 2.0 where we can dive into some of the crazy integrations and connections that we can use this for. Streamline social media marketing posting. I like this. It can almost help with, if you're using and for your scheduling, John, you might want to look into this. You can connect, your tools to publish posts. You can build out your bulk content for repeated release, things of that nature. So this is a really great tool.
They just came to her and said, I need to schedule out.
Yeah. Oh, this is cute. Good old Gary. Change is inevitable. Participation is optional. So I'll send that out to everybody. I'll also send my little PowerPoint slides out to you guys just to kind of jog your memory for a little overview of how to get started. It is 11:21. I'm early. Does anybody have questions? Does anybody have tech questions that aren't related to ChatGPT? You guys are on my calendar till 11:30, so I have 9 minutes if anybody needs anything. If not, that's cool. I just gained 9 minutes of my day back. Just kidding. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks,
guys
Abby.
for coming.
Thanks, Abby.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Pretty cool stuff. Oh, John, we were recording, by the way.